Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to start off by giving you a look at the back garden that is currently being cleared out. It's almost done. In fact, we are like last ditch effort. There are 3 roses I want to dig out today. 3 roses I completely spaced moving, and I think the guys are on their lunch hour and this is the next spot that they're going to demolish. So we're going to quick try to get them dug out so that we can go get them planted in the south garden. They're Vanessa Bells. They're a beautiful David Austin, pale yellow. Totally unimpressed by them the first year, but the second year it's kind of like they hit their stride and they were a beautiful color. First year they were very pale, like almost a white rose, and this year they've been much more vibrant. So anyway, we're going to take a look at those, but this whole process of clearing out this space, I've shared with you how tentative I am about removing things because I'm such a creature of habit. But once things start to clear out, I realize how much some things become a crutch for me, and I would probably leave things in place forever, just kind of like not loving it and working around it just because it's there and it's thriving and that sort of thing. But we clear it out and all of a sudden I realized the potential of this space. I was looking out some of our upstairs windows and realizing like what a pond would do to this area and what kind of amazing view that would add. But anyway, let's take a look. It's almost kind of scary to look at, isn't it? Oh my goodness. These boxwoods, this was the triangular shaped garden. Almost every single one of our cones that was inside were completely riddled with mites this past year, had a lot of dead in them. They actually pulled out right up to the very dead spot right here. There's just a lot of issues going on with these. So I'm kind of happy in a way to see these go because I've been struggling so much with them. I mean, there was just a lot of pockets that were just starting to die out. They really haven't been peak ever since we moved in. And then right after we moved in, we had that winter with 52 inches of snow and it weighed a bunch of them down and broke branches. And we've just struggled with them ever since. So we decided even if we want to keep this exact formation, which it was really pretty right here, it may not make as much sense now that the rest, like the whole area around it, is going to be planting area rather than gravel like it has been. But we thought even if we want to keep this, we need to really start over with fresh boxwoods. So those are coming out. The arbor that we had right here, we just took that apart. It's behind the orchard fence. We'll probably utilize that again. The 3 roses we're moving today are right here. This is one I'm not gonna move. But yeah, I kind of forgot about these. And they're doing so well. The tree is gonna stay. And then of course the Norway we had put in this spring is gonna stay. We put it, like plunked it right in the middle of the gravel area because we knew all of this was going. And then a lot of the big evergreens we just bought at Malad Tree Farm, we're gonna nestle those in right back here. We had a row of boxwoods between this birch and the smoke bush that were really, really old. And if you got close on them, you would see a bunch of dead inside. And then there was bore holes and evidence of bores at some point. So we thought, you know what, since we're clearing this stuff out anyway, let's just clear those. Even if we put, again, lilacs back in, which I already have one lilac I planted back here earlier this season. We wanted to start with some fresh things, but I think having an evergreen backdrop right here will be so nice. So the planting area will actually start maybe even where that second pot is, right over there, and it will curve over this way. We're gonna kind of retool the driveway here. So all of this is gonna be planting area. And then of course all of this, I think nesting a pond back in here would be so amazing. And what we're gonna try to do is match wherever this walkway comes out from the Hartley. We're gonna match it right over here, which it's gonna probably shift over just a little bit. So we'll match that and we'll have a grass pathway come through this area like we do out in the south garden. And then it will come back out and meet about where that hose link is. And that's the exact view from the Hartley. So this whole garden will be connected. I'm looking forward to that so much. I love it when it looks like one space just walks into the next space. There's a really nice flow to it, but this is just wild. You know, we planted a bunch of these trees. So there's heritage birch back here. There's some blue spruce and pines. There's a crabapple. The sensation box elder is gonna stay. It's a gorgeous tree. And then we planted new things back there as well. So those of course will all stay. And we're going to go ahead after we map out where the driveway is, because again, let me turn this way. It'll start about where that second pot is. It'll come right about here. And then it will whoop, kind of go over that way. So this section will be planting area as well. So anyway, we're going to mulch the whole thing once it's all clean so it looks tidy and we don't have powder in all the spots in our garden. The fountain base over here, you know, we broke it a while ago. And I mean, it's got so much damage. It's got a huge crack down there that goes all the way through right there. So that's not really something, unless somebody wanted to make it into a planter. But even moving that thing, I think it would fall apart. unless you were really good at moving stuff like this. And then the view back to the Hartley. Let me stand back in this other spot. Okay, back corner of the barn right here, chicken coop right here, Hartley, here's the open space. Boy, it just looks so much bigger with everything gone. So much potential for this area. I'm so excited about it now. So that's where we're at back here. It's kind of crazy. But while we're standing right here, you know, we'll have the arbor here and an arbor on the other side. So you will have a view into this space from that angle. And I'm thinking I want to plant it up really heavily so that you can't actually see the bulk of the garden, but then another view from this area back into maybe a pond back here. Who knows? Thankfully, I've got a winter to think about it because we probably won't be able to move on a lot of those plans for a while yet. Okay, let's get these roses dug out fast. Ask Aaron to come help me with this one. What in the world?
I don't know.
It's like there's a rock on one side of it.
This is super weird.
The soil is very dry over here. In fact, I wasn't able to get a ton of the root system. So likely the canopy will probably shrivel up on us, but I'm gonna go soak these in a root stimulator before we plant them. Isn't it awesome to be able to, like, on purpose cut drip tubes?
Yeah, well.
It's kind of satisfying.
If I can.
Here, I'll just get out of your way for you.
Jeez.
Good effort though there, Aaron. Oh, that's a root from something. Well, we got them out, but not with very much of a root system. So I'm gonna go soak them in some Thrive, I think, in a bucket of water before I plant. But Aaron got kind of injured. Not kinda.
It's just gonna blister
That's
right
gonna,
there.
yeah, dang.
Just got pinched.
It's this shovel. Right here, I think did this come loose?
Must have.
Yeah, so this twists and gives you the ability to make it a longer shovel. Hang on, I'll show you. Like that. Whoop. And then you can lock it again. So you have more of a full, it's not even full size, not quite. And you can make it shorter. I've never had that unlock on me.
Yeah.
But I'll be more mindful of it now. Dang, well, you sacrificed yourself. Thank you. These roses better survive, right?
Yeah. It's gonna look so nice in the space. To be able to redo the driveway, because right now it kind of like jets out in the corner
it's
over
so
there.
wide.
It's really wide. It doesn't need to be like that. We can curve it better. Benny said that he's gonna just eliminate that water, the one closest to us.
Sure.
And then we'll tap into the one beyond that. I actually already got with the electricians. They're gonna come trench a line from the barn over somewhere to over here, so that way we've got conduit to this side of the fence. Because inevitably we'll want power for something over here, Christmas lights or something. And now's the time to trench.
Right.
It's all barren.
It's quite a hole at the moment.
You know what though? It's gonna look good here soon.
What do you think about a pond right back in here?
Yeah, could totally make that
Because
work.
now that we have from this point all the way back, it's quite a lot of space.
Yeah.
We could even have the pathway become a bridge part of the way and go over the pond.
I was thinking about that, but so the grass would come up to wood, and then you'd have to make sure that like the lawnmower could go over it to mow on both sides.
Yeah.
And so it would have to be a really long and not a tall bridge.
Right. Precisely.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe we won't have a bridge, but it was a thought.
What are these posts that are against?
Oh, I think they were aligning the flower bed. They take things out in shifts, like all the green material goes out together and then all of like the concrete and wood and stuff goes out together. So I'm guessing that's because they have to like put it in separate piles. They dispose of it differently.
Yeah, right. They've got like a
compost and then concrete, yeah. Okay, let's go get these in water before they start really hating me. But it's better this than having them just bulldozed and not even giving them a chance. Okay, I need a muck tub or something like that. Where are our muck tubs? Oh, here they are. Yeah. Oh, look, there's our patio set. I think I'm just gonna recover these. I love this set. Right here. Okay guys, let's see. Transplanting. Well, I think we could consider these a bare root. 1.5 teaspoons per 5 gallons. For trees, 2 tablespoons per 5 gallons. So I just kind of round up to maybe 2 teaspoons per 5 gallons. And this is, let's see, I'll probably fill it up to probably the 8 mark. So I'll probably go, I don't know, what is that? 3 teaspoons? Not very much. But this does help with things like this when you've got a severe case of didn't get enough root ball when you were trying to dig up a plant. It's good for those kinds of things. Soak it up. Okay, I ended up adding some more water and a little bit more of the Super Thrive because the root balls were just a little bit too tall. So it says on the instructions to soak them for 15 to 30 minutes, which I think will make these plants much happier than they would if I just went and popped them out in the ground. While we wait, I think I would like to get these boxwoods planted right here. Now that we know that the walkway is going to come straight out, because see, we were originally thinking, well, it was a possibility to maybe curve the walkway out this way, and we decided not to do that because, you know, when you've got a porch like that, you kind of want it to be a straight on view instead of such a curve so soon. Like maybe if we came way out and then curved it, it would be okay, but I like this view quite a lot. So that means this flower bed is going to stay pretty much the same. I've got to kind of bump these out a little bit so we've got a little bit more of a curve, but yeah, I also need to figure out where this line is. Aaron knows. I think he's going to be out here in a minute. I think he wanted to kind of be in on this project. So I'll figure out where that electrical line is. I don't know what I think. I don't know where the line is. Anyway, we'll get these positioned and planted. I've got my auger out here. These are winter gem boxwoods, so they match the boxwood hedge that's currently here. And then as you go across the walkway and then down the west side, they turn into sprinter boxwoods, and then these on this side are also sprinter boxwoods. Now, none of the boxwoods we plant have a smell. I know that's a thing, right? Some of you guys say that boxwoods smell, and I think it's a specific type. Is it an English boxwood that when they bloom, some people say they smell like cat spray? None of our boxwoods smell like that, thankfully. But winter gems are zone 5 through 9, and they can reach between 4 to 6 feet tall and wide if you let them go to their natural size. But the thing I do like about these boxwoods, the winter gems, is that their branching structure is really nice. Like they get really thick, and see how nice they are inside too. Like this is a fairly young hedge, so we've got green all the way on the inside, and I kind of try to keep some pockets a little bit open so that they can get some light and airflow in there so it's not so thick, which I like. The boxwoods that we have in the back that we're currently pulling out, they just had green on the very tippy top because I think they'd just been hedged and hedged and hedged the same way for a lot of years. And there was never any light or airflow like penetrating that top canopy. So like if you lost any part of the top of your boxwood, then all you saw was dead. So it's kind of nice to have some of these hedges be a little bit more fresh, a little bit younger. And if we can keep kind of selectively pruning out little bits here and there, hopefully we keep them nicer longer. And then the sprinters over here, they are starting to branch out a little bit more, but you can see like they're not structuring up quite as well as the winter gems. They kind of come up in longer stems, and that may change over time as we do trim them more. They may form more lateral branches and stool out a little bit more. You can still see individual plants here, but this is the first year that they look like more of a hedge. It's so exciting. Got them all planted. They look so nice. Oh, so much better than having containers just sitting here and having to water them every day. So I did water them in by hand. We will come along and add some drip tubing and some more compost just to top dress and tidy it up. And we will carry this brick border on, except we're gonna probably have to take off from here and fix the trajectory, because before it was going a little bit more toward the right, and I think we're gonna need to curve it out just a little bit more. So what is that, like 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe a dozen bricks we'll pick up and then redirect. And I wasn't super fussy about spacing. In fact, I just broke a branch off of a nearby tree that was dead, and I figured out how much space there was between the root ball of this one, which is right here, and the root ball of this one, which is right here. So about this much space. So I went like this and spaced that one out, spaced that one out. So they all are fairly close, like within probably a 1/2 inch or so. It looks like they're further apart down here because these boxwoods are just naturally smaller to start off with. So like this one right here looks closer to this one because this one's bigger, but they're all the root balls, like the center of the root ball is spaced about the same distance. See that? Center of this plant to center of that plant. And when they're just gonna be a hedge in the end anyway, it doesn't matter if they're slightly off. Okay, so far the roses don't look horrible. A little bit of wilting on the top. This took us longer than 30 minutes, of course, to plant. We're gonna go find a spot for these out in the south garden. But first we're gonna go check on the wheat that we planted yesterday. I think I might hand water it one more time, depending on how it looks. Yep, it does look like it needs a little bit of water. There were a few birds out here when I just drove up and I scared them away. But anyway, I can reach most of it with the hose right by the flower shed, but some of it I have to reach with the hose link that you can hardly even see over here because it has become engulfed by this Nicotiana, which is gorgeous. Peach Screamer, such a pretty variety, all self-seeded. Okay. That's all done. When I was toward this end watering, I think I can see a whole bunch of red over here in our strawberry row. Yep. Holy moly. You guys, look at all of these berries. My goodness. These are the Seascape variety, you guys. Definitely plant them in your garden next year. Wow. They're the best when they're kind of slightly warm from the sun. I'm gonna bring the kids out here later. All right, so we're here in the south garden. Flower shed is right there. We're working on clearing out this area. Those are all the boxwoods that are gonna go around the Hartley. So those will be used up here pretty soon. But I thought having 3 pale yellow roses might look really nice right in here. We've got the Fall in Love Sweetly anemones, which, you know, this is their first year and I am trying them out in the sun. So they have bloomed really beautifully, and just recently I'm seeing some scorch on them. But we've got some yellow echinaceas in here, purple buddleia. We've got a kind of pinkish rose and some other really beautiful things. So yeah, I think tucking them in, like putting one here, here, and here would be nice, and then planning to do something similar to this. This is the Superbena Sparkling Amethyst, and we might just repeat this again. Seriously, you guys, the Superbena as a landscape plant is just so amazing. The roses will get full sun out here, which they may like. They may look sad after today, but hopefully next year they kind of take hold and start to grow again. Yeah, seeing a little bit of wilt at the top. Not too bad, just that fresh stuff. Okay, let's get them planted. there they are. They look really good. I'm actually really encouraged that they didn't completely flop right away. I did trim a little bit off the top of this one. In fact, I could probably go in and trim these back a little bit more so they don't have as much canopy to support. But I did use all the extra Thrive water in that big black bucket, and I poured it at the base of each one of these plants once they were all planted. And we'll just monitor their progress. But I think these look really great back here. I think they're a great next layer. You know, we can do either this same Superbena next year or something that's kind of that same size. These grow 3 to 4 feet tall and 3 feet wide, so they're not a huge rose. Yeah, like I said, I was really happy with their blooms this year. Have you guys ever had a rose do that? To where like the first year, the color that they bloomed last year wasn't even close to the picture, which was so strange. I thought these are really light colored. I mean, they're really pretty structure, but the fragrance didn't blow me away. The color didn't blow me away, and it was completely different this year. It was like it was a different plant. They were much more deep, and they had a much stronger fragrance. So maybe they just had an off year. I don't know. I think that's all we're going to do in terms of projects today. Just so happy that I made it in time to get those roses. It would have made me sick had I realized it later that those got bulldozed. And then the boxwoods in the ground. So awesome. I do want to go see how much he's gotten done back there because he has come and gone at least 2 times, maybe 3 times since we started this project. We currently have to back out through the flower bed because that's such baby grass right there. Oh, we got a sunflower growing in that pot. Awesome. Oh, also, sensational honeysuckle. Do you guys remember when we planted this? It smells so good. It's doing really well despite its sort of dry start this year. It took a while for the sprinkler system to be installed. And the grass, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. There's the arbor and the fountain and the urn. Oh my. He's picking up pieces of the fountain. Oh my goodness, yep, look at that. Whoa. Can you believe it? That's where we were, right there, for those roses. Oh my goodness gracious. Things are just looking really pretty right now. Some things are starting to tire out. Like we're gonna have to clean out these pots. They've got callas and caladiums in them here fairly soon before we get close to freezing. But look at our potato vine. Our sweet potato vine's still awesome. Superbena is kind of flushed out, not looking like super prime. But we've kept everything going just because nothing's wilted yet due to frost. That looks as healthy as can be. Look at this. And you guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's projects. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one.